You have to change your mindset. You have to change your routine. You have to cut people out of your life that are dragging you down with them. You have to find that motivation deep down in you and spark that fuse.
I don't care who's doing better than me, because I'm doing better than I was last year. It's me against me, okay?
So God's been dealing with me a lot about my health, whether it's been spiritual, mental, emotional, psychological, just different stuff like that. And one of the things that I noticed was, I don't know if a lot of you guys can relate or not, but I'm somewhat of a workaholic. I used to work pretty much every day at my job, and it got to a point where I started to notice different changes in myself to where I was completely being myself. I was able to perform the job easily or whatever the case was, but it almost got to a point where I was just so mentally and psychologically and emotionally drained that I was just coasting through days. Like, I'm the type to where if I'm working a job, most weeks that I would get paid, I would literally forget that I was being paid until the end of the day when I got home. And then I just remember, hey, oh, dang, I got paid. Then I would check then. But I was never the type to, as soon as I get up on that Friday, oh, I'm looking at my pay stub, I'm looking at this, I'm looking at, I was never that type. So when I realized that I was getting to that point and I was beginning to just count the hours by or look at my phone live to see what time it was, I knew then it was like, okay, I'm getting to a place where I shouldn't be. So I had to learn how to take steps back. Not even at the job I'm at now, but it's always been like that. I've always had 2 jobs my whole life, and I know that when I get to certain spots, as much as of a workaholic that I am, as many goals that I have, as many visions that I have, I know it's important that when it comes to certain times like those, that it's best to prioritize your health over the potential wealth that you could have. Because what you got to realize is you can't make no bread if you're dead. And I know that sounds a little bit extreme, but it's true. Like, I tell my colleagues this all the time at the job I'm at now. Like, okay, if you feel sick or if you feel this, and I'm not gonna discourage you from going home, because at the end of the day, if you're not at your best, or if you're not at a level to where you feel like you can be capable of performing a job, or in cases like that, then it is best for you to take whatever time that you need off to make sure that you're where you need to be at in order to do what you need to do, and not hurt yourself or not put yourself in a position to where you cannot do it anymore. And it took me a while to realize how important that was, because as we all know, cost of living has gone up. We're dealing with a lot of things, a lot of responsibilities. Times have changed. Things are getting more expensive. So of course, it's harder in today's time as it has always been, but it's worse now to balance your health over, your career or your job, because you got to pay these bills. And I completely understand that. I know exactly how important that is. You definitely want to keep a roof over your head. You definitely want to keep your lights on. You definitely want to keep your car. Those things, of course, you need to make sure that you maintain those things. But I'm talking to the people that, and you know who you are, if you know that you can maintain those things and you can take the time off that's needed, and you know that you've been seeing changes in yourself, and you can see that you're mentally, emotionally, psychologically drained, then go ahead and take the time off that you need in order to focus on yourself so you can get back and perform at the level that you know you're capable of performing at. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not a mark on your character. It's not a mark on your work ethic. It doesn't mean you're lazy. Because look, reality at the end of the day, and I hate to be the one to tell you, but I've always been told this since I started working, even before I was working, and you guys have heard this saying all your lives, I'm sure. This job is going to replace you no matter what. You're always going to be replaceable no matter what position you're in, no matter what title you hold, no matter how many people you know at your job, or whatever the case is, or whatever career. You are replaceable. As good as you are, as talented as you are, you see it all the time in sports. One injury, everything can change. They're going to bring the next person in. There's always another draft of people looking to take your spot. There's always another wave of people looking to take your spot. So make sure that above all else, if you can, if you're in a position to do so, make sure you look out for yourself and your health, because later in turn, that's going to be the real wealth when it comes to yourself. It's not just about the money. Of course, make as much money as you can to make sure you can maintain those bills and the things that you need in order to live a good life. But beyond that, you know, if you have the opportunity, if you're in that position, maintain and prioritize your health over your wealth, because it's going to benefit you in the long run. And I cannot believe I'm bringing a video like this to y'all, because I am super contradicting myself as I'm bringing forth this video to you guys. That just speaks to how much I've grown recently. I know it's been a couple of months since I've been on here. I've been on my other channel, and I scrolled across here. Of course, I've been uploading shorts, as you guys can see, but I didn't realize it's been 5 months since I've really posted a real video. So I apologize for that, but I've been focusing on my health. So I've been learning as I've been going, and that's the purpose of this channel, is to just grow as you're going through the process of becoming the best version of yourself. And there's going to be times where you're going to have to start to prioritize your health over the wealth, over the success, over the goals. Of course, those things are great. It's good to achieve those things. It's good to get to those places. It's good to see those things happen. It's good to see the results. But over time, you get to a point where you just need to make sure that you're good first before anything else happens. Before you pursue anything else, pursue that you're good and that you're okay. So that was the biggest change that I've seen in myself, that, you know, I just wasn't the same. I didn't have the same drive, and I have the same motivation. Of course, I had the mental willpower to get myself through those days, but I got to a point where I was like, okay, I'm getting through these days, but it's not really worth it. Yeah, I'm making the money. I'm making a lot of money, like, I'm not gonna lie, but at the same time, it's like, it's not worth it, because I'm taking the toll, you know. My mind is taking the toll. My emotional health is taking the toll, and I don't want to burn out. So in order to fix this, I had to start taking time off. I had to figure out what was stressing me out, and, you know, why I was feeling the way I was feeling. And, you know, I just had to make those adjustments, whether it was praying, whether it was just meditating, just focusing on myself, whether it was sleeping more, whether it was just doing the things I needed to do that I know I needed to do, but I was neglecting because I was so focused on getting money, or so focused on achieving goals. You know, a big problem that we have in our society today is it's all about goals, and money. Like, it's not all about that. You need to make sure that everything else is good first, because what's going to happen is, if you burn out, it's not just going to affect your job and career, or your money, or your goals. It's going to affect everything in your life. Everything works together. That's why having a balance is really key. It's really important, because if you don't have that balance, then that imbalance is going to spread to all the parts in your life. And I would rather deal with one fire than having to deal with 5 fires, and I'm emotionally and I'm mentally drained. That's going to be super taxing and super exhausting. And by the time you put those fires out, you're down. Now you still don't even have the energy to really pursue those goals like you want, even after you put all the problems out, because you exerted so much energy that you could have saved, that you could have had, but because you unintentionally created so many fires and let them spark like wildfires, now you have to use that energy that you could have saved putting out all these fires. Now you got nothing left. Now it's like every day that you're going, it's just like you're an autopilot, you know. And it's not a good autopilot. It's not just like a smooth coasting. It's a dragging. You don't feel like doing it. It's a constant. You're just feeling like you're one step behind, and you're having to force yourself to do these things. It's a forceful feel, and I don't want you guys to feel like that. I know what that feels like. So that's why I'm telling you, health over wealth any day of the week. And like I said, with the cost of living going up, I know it's hard to prioritize health, but if you don't make an effort to maintain your health, then you'll quickly realize that your health was a true wealth. And like I said, you can't make no bread if you're dead. So, like I said, health over wealth. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys can take as much from it as I will. I will definitely rewatch this, continue to apply it to myself and my life. And I just continue that you take this with you, and you just continue to pursue being the best version of yourself. But also realize that part of that is also making sure that your health is maintained. Because if that is not maintained, then it's impossible to continue to have that will and that drive and that motivation to continue to be and continue to chase that best version of yourself. So as always, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Spiritual Prodigy out.
This is yours. You're the captain, you're the master, you're the foreman, you're the general, you're the head. Don't give control of this to nobody, especially the devil. Do not let Satan come in here and function and operate, because he has one mission: to keep you off course, to make you not think it's possible, to make you think that God don't hear you. His job is only to destroy you, to make sure that you don't become what God intended for you to become. That's the mission of the devil.